Every UFC fighter who steps into the octagon started somewhere on this ladder. Today, we're breaking down the 7 levels of MMA fighters, from guys who probably shouldn't be in there, all the way up to the greatest of all time. Let's get into it. Level 1, Trash. So, Level 1 is where you find fighters who are either brand new or just not good. We're talking 0 to 5 professional fights, usually on regional shows, learning the hard way that cage fighting isn't for everyone. And let's be real, some guys become infamous for the wrong reasons. CM Punk is the prime example. Dude had 0 MMA experience, got signed by UFC purely for his WWE fame, and went 0 to 2 getting absolutely dominated. Then you've got fighters like Mike Jackson, who beat CM Punk but still looked rough doing it. These are the guys still figuring out basic technique, while everyone else is already miles ahead. Level 2, Gatekeeper. Level 2 is the Gatekeeper. The wanderer with 20-plus fights who's tough as nails but hits a ceiling. These guys test rising stars and make them prove they belong, but they rarely win gold themselves. Donald Cowboy Cerrone is the perfect example. The man holds the UFC record with 23 wins and 16 finishes. He got inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2023, but he never won a UFC title. Cowboy fought everyone. Lightweights, welterweights, legends, prospects, didn't matter. He'd take fights on short notice and always put on a show, but when it came to title shots, he'd come up short. Jim Miller's another beast here. Been in the UFC since 2008, with more fights than almost anyone. He's submitted killers and survived every era of lightweight, but he's never getting that title shot. Same with Ovince St. Preux. Knocked out former champs, submitted guys with the Von Flue choke multiple times, but never broke through to the belt. Here's the thing though, gatekeepers are the most underrated fighters in the UFC, since they're the actual reality check. Level 3, Top Contender. Now we're getting serious. Level 3 is the elite top 10 fighters who consistently challenge for belts. They've got quality wins, they headline events, they sell pay-per-views. They're one step away from gold. Think Tony Ferguson in his prime. El Cucuy was on a 12-fight win streak, destroying everyone, and fans were begging to see him fight Khabib. But injuries and bad timing kept that fight from happening during his peak. By the time he got his shot, the moment had passed. Colby Covington's another perfect example. Love him or hate him, Colby's fought for the belt multiple times. Elite wrestling, insane cardio, beats top guys consistently, but he keeps running into champions who are just slightly better on that night. Rose Namajunas before she became champ, Holly Holm before she knocked out Ronda. These are fighters everyone knows are dangerous, with skills to be champion, but they need that one perfect performance to break through. And here's what's brutal. You can spend years at this level, always ranked top 5, headlining cards, making good money, but that belt stays just out of reach. It's MMA purgatory. Level 4, Champion. Level 4 is where you've officially made it. You're a UFC champion. You climbed to the summit of your division and claimed the belt. Maybe you held it for a year, maybe just one fight, but you proved you were the best when it mattered most. Conor McGregor became the first fighter ever to hold 2 UFC titles at once, featherweight and lightweight. That's historic. But he never defended either belt. His trash talk and knockout power made him the biggest pay-per-view draw in MMA history, despite his reign being short-lived. Israel Adesanya unified the middleweight title with a knockout and had a solid reign before eventually losing it. Joanna Jędrzejczyk dominated strawweight with 5 defenses, then couldn't reclaim the throne after losing it. Now, before we dive deeper into the upper levels of MMA, I want to talk about something that guides you. Jab AI. We all know that perfecting your technique is one thing, but actually seeing what you're doing wrong, that's where most fighters struggle. And that's exactly why we built Jab AI, to bring AI-powered video analysis to your training. Here's how it works. You record yourself hitting pads, working the heavy bag, or even sparring, and our AI breaks down your technique frame by frame. It analyzes your striking form. Are you dropping your hands, overextending on hooks, telegraphing that right cross? It catches the details that are hard to see in real time. With that, Jab AI creates personalized training plans tailored to fix your specific weaknesses. Not generic templates, actual voice-based workouts designed around your goals. So, whether you're a beginner trying to build proper fundamentals or an experienced fighter looking to tighten up your game, give Jab AI a try. Available on both the App Store and Play Store. Level 5, Dominant Champion. This is where we separate champions from dynasties. Level 5 fighters didn't just win a belt. They dominated their division for years, with multiple defenses and record-setting runs. Khabib Nurmagomedov retired as lightweight champion at a perfect 29-0. Can you imagine not losing a single fight with that type of record? He completely dominated his division and left on top. Fair to say he smashed them boys. Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson defended the flyweight title 11 consecutive times, the most in UFC history. His speed, technical precision, and fight IQ were unmatched, finishing opponents with everything from armbars to suplexes. Despite being one of the most skilled fighters ever, he fought in the least appreciated division, which kept him from getting the mainstream recognition his dominance deserved. Let's not forget Georges St-Pierre, who had 9 defenses at welterweight, and Jose Aldo with 7 defenses. These elites didn't just hold belts, they made their divisions look easy. Some reigns lasted years, others ended on their own terms, but all of them left a mark that's impossible to ignore. Level 6, Legend. Level 6 is reserved for the icons who shaped MMA history itself. These are pioneers, multi-era champions, Hall of Famers with transcendent careers and cultural impact. Royce Gracie won UFC 1, 2, and 4. Essentially the first UFC champion, and the guy who proved Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu works. He's a legit 3-time UFC tournament champion. Chuck Liddell brought MMA into the mainstream. Fedor Emelianenko went undefeated for over a decade in Pride and dominated heavyweight. Anderson Silva holds the longest title reign in UFC history at 2,457 days and defended the middleweight belt a record 10 consecutive times, time that he made elite fighters look amateur, finishing opponents with matrix-like head movement, precision counter-striking, and creativity that turned fights into performance art. The Spider wasn't just dominant, he redefined what was possible in MMA striking and inspired an entire generation to focus on technical stand-up game. It's fair to say that these legends didn't just win, they built the sport. Every fighter who came after learned from them. Their names are instantly recognizable even to casual fans. Level 7, Greatest of All Time. And finally, Level 7. The GOAT, the single most accomplished, well-rounded, influential fighter ever. There's always debate here, but the numbers don't lie. Jon Jones sits at 30-1 with his only loss being a disqualification. He has 13 UFC title defenses and became the youngest champion ever at 23 years old. Then behind him is Demetrius Johnson with 11 defenses, Anderson Silva with 10. But Jon Jones isn't just about the numbers. It's how he won. He beat every single legend put in front of him. Shogun Rua, Rampage Jackson, Lyoto Machida, Rashad Evans, Vitor Belfort, Chael Sonnen, Daniel Cormier twice, Alexander Gustafsson twice. The list goes on. These weren't just wins. These were dominant performances against Hall of Famers and champions. Then he moved up to heavyweight after years away and submitted Cyril Gane to win that belt too. Leaving skill aside and only considering the popularity, Conor McGregor might be up there with the GOATs. He not only headlined all 5 of the UFC's top-selling pay-per-view events, but also has 46.5 million Instagram followers, the biggest draw in MMA history, even if his record doesn't match Jones or DJ. GSP, Jones, Mighty Mouse, Silva. Fans argue endlessly about who's the true GOAT, but whoever sits at the top conquered every mountain and became a global icon. So there you have it, 7 levels from guys who had no business being in the cage, all the way up to the greatest to ever do it. Where do your favorite fighters rank? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to train for MMA, then don't forget to check out our app, Jab Eye. Links in description.